Hi, ladies. Fiona May from Women on Transition, and I've got my beautiful client Rosie here with me. How are you, sweet?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
Yeah, great. So Rosie is from Perth, what's my hometown. So lovely to have some of our Perth ladies, working with us. So maybe you could just tell us a bit about your story, Rosie, where you were, just a few months ago when we met you.
So I started my journey a while ago in April, actually, and it took me a little bit longer than other people to get through. I've got a mum with dementia and grandchildren and things like that, and so life was pretty busy. But
Yep.
going backtracking, probably 6 years ago, I decided to leave my husband. It had been horrible for quite a while, and I didn't really know how to get out of it. And it got to rock bottom, and I was just feeling like, I was used, and my mental state was not in a good place. And I decided to do the Shine course because I felt like the 3 days was wonderful, but then otherwise your life just goes back to wherever it was, and I didn't want that to happen this time. So yes, that's where my journey began, and then the courses, and then there were a few interruptions with things, and I had a nephew's wedding and this, that, and the other things. Life happens. But for me, it was not about I have to do it in that 8 weeks, but it was like I want to do it and I want to make my life change. And so here I am, and I feel wonderful.
Excellent. That's so beautiful. So what have you tried in the past, Rosie? Have you tried any counseling or psychology or, self-help or watching podcasts? And, if you've done some of those things, why was this different? Why did this get the outstanding results that it has?
Okay, so I did two lots of marriage counselling with
Yeah.
my husband or ex-husband, and we did one lot of family counselling with my daughter and my ex-husband because their relationship was very fractured because of his bad behaviour as well.
Yeah.
And so he would sort of try and change for a few weeks or whatever, or after the sessions, he would say, "Oh, you're just trying to persecute me and blame me for everything," even though he
Yeah.
got to have the floor often. And so, there would be little improvements for a little while. Then my daughter left home, and so for him, that was a good thing. For me, I missed her terribly, but he just wanted me to himself. I think that he thought then that he could control that. And so things just went back to the way they were.
Yeah.
I, did a lot with my friends and my sisters and tried to, just read and find things, but nothing really stayed and lasted. But this program, it just takes you back slowly, takes you all the way back to um, your childhood. And I did do a course with another lady when I first left my husband, and she took you back to that childhood thing too. But after time, it was beautiful, but it didn't go as in depth
Yeah.
and back into all of your psyche and the ways that you can change and empower yourself. And so that I think that was more about healing myself, but it's also needs to be those changes that sustain you and make you feel actually really good about yourself, which and maybe I wasn't ready for all of that, I don't know. I think it was a combination, but this course has made me feel I can do anything. And in fact, I made a list of 11 or 12 things that I was, little goals, and then we had to choose three. Well, I've achieved 7 of those 11 goals in this period of time, and it's such a good feeling, and people are noticing that I'm different and that I'm more empowered and happy and all those things.
That's so beautiful. So, I'm really big on having a strategy and then having a step-by-step system and then having not only the tools and the resources and the support, but you've also got to have a clear pathway forward. So you follow it step by step. That's what creates lasting change. And that's why
Yes.
this, really works because it really gives you every piece of the puzzle to make it all work. So,
Yes.
um, so you love to learn, you did your homework, and you've created this new life. What does your life look like when you look in that, forward-facing mirror now compared to what it did when you were sitting there, 4, 5, 6 months ago?
So then I think I had not a lot of direction, not a lot of what do
Yeah.
I want? I don't know what I want. I think it was just, I was just moving along, living each day and wondering what was happening. And then I would get, I love and contribution and giving are my things. And so,
Excellent. Mhm.
but I think that, as I found out from you, of course, you know, like if you don't love yourself and look after yourself first, then you get drained and feel taken for granted sometimes. And so I think I decided that actually I didn't want to stay like in that rut. And
Yeah.
you know, like I was a happy person, a very positive person, lots of friends. But then sometimes, you know, people would say things or do things, family members too, and you'd feel really down. And now, like even recently, I had an incident with my daughter over me killing a snake when my granddaughter was here, and
Yeah.
she thought that was it really a snake, and should I be killing it? And I'm teaching her to kill snakes, which I wasn't. But once upon a time, I would have just felt bad about myself and thought, gosh, I must have done the wrong thing, and then not said anything to her. But we had some conversations which were a little bit icky. But you know, we came out in the end, and I was able to say how I felt and why I did it, and that I'd actually do the same thing again to protect my granddaughter and my cats for when they go out. And
Yeah.
you know, that I felt really empowered by that. And even she said, "Mum, I'm proud of you for being able to stand up for yourself and say what you think." And I mean, I always
Yeah.
do it nicely, but you know, it's just one of those beautiful things. So yeah.
So when I say to you that, like nobody taught us how to do this stuff when we were little girls, no one sat us down and showed us how to be in relationship or how to navigate conflict or how to communicate effectively. You know, when I say that, how does that land for you?
That's very true. I mean, my parents, I grew up in a very strict Christian household. My father thought that the way that he was brought up was the way that we should be brought up, and that
Yeah.
at a dinner table, children to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
You know, he was very strict with his discipline, and you know, like the snake episode. So when I was a kid, I used to dream about snakes because we had them on our veranda all the time in an old house, and my
Yeah.
mum used to come and kill them, and I used to be so grateful to her. But then I'd dream about them in being in my bed, and it would make me
Mm,
vomit. And my dad
mm,
would spank me for being a naughty girl. And
mm,
so when the snake was there the other day, my heart
mm,
was just about in my mouth. I was just like,
mm.
you know, I don't know what to do with it. But then I just kicked in. I saw the spade, and I thought, I have to be brave for my
Mm.
granddaughter. And then I need afterwards, I was just felt so proud, and I just thought, you know, I've come such a long way, because those things are so ingrained in you from when you're little, and that you didn't talk about all the important things. You know, it was just life, and we knew we were loved, but we were never told we were loved. We were
Yeah.
never told we were proud of things that, you know, now we do that with our kids all the time, but at that
Yeah.
time, you know, that wasn't the way. So yeah, I've just learned so much.
Excellent. I love that you've got these new tools and skills. Do you think this is going to change the way that you grandparent? Because that to me, like I've got one little grandson and, I really want to be that positive role model in his life. His mum and dad are amazing and they do this work as well. But, I want to make sure that, my contribution to his life is giving him tools and skills to set him up for success.
Absolutely, and that's my aim too. I mean, I was a teacher for 43 years, and so I worked with kids a lot, and you know, always tried to build kids up and give them some tools for that. And the same with I've got two granddaughters now, a new one that's 9 weeks old. So
Mm,
yes, a very beautiful time, and definitely using these things to help build them up too. And as women, that you know, it's important to be yourself, and that it's okay to cry and to have emotions and to, you know, seek help, but, you know, to feel good about yourself.
excellent. So, you've graduated, like this is the new start of your life. You've got a
It is.
beautiful next chapter, and
Yeah.
I want you to go out there and live every single day. So what are some of the things that you're going to do in your, in this next chapter?
So I want to go and stay with my cousin in Darwin
Yep.
in next year. In 2027, I've already started organising with some girlfriends that I went to school with, And my
Awesome.
Scottish girlfriend is going to meet us. We're going to go to London, and then we're going to Scotland, and then we're going to France and to Italy. So we're going to have a month away.
Yeah.
So things like that. Soon in January, my sisters and I, we're organising to go over to the Australian Open in
Excellent.
Melbourne. And you know, just little things around the house too that I've taught myself to whippersnipper and mow my lawn, and you know, get the reticulation going. So I'm really proud. I've got a friend coming who's going to teach me how to drill holes in my wall,
Yep.
and yeah, so it's just, I think, just that confidence that I can do these things. I can organise, and if I can't do it, well, I'll get somebody to help me, and then I'll be able to do it myself as well. And that, I suppose, sometimes too, you know, that you accept that somebody would like to do something for you, which I think in the past, I felt like I needed to be independent. My ex was such a lazy sod.
Yeah.
He, you know, and as I've learned through the things, though, you know, maybe because he didn't do them, I did them when I needed to, but then that made him think, oh, well, you can do that as well, you can do that as well. So I don't know. It's obviously partly my fault too, but now at least I'm in control of all those things, which is beautiful.
Yeah. Excellent. Very cool. So
Yeah.
congratulations. You've done a great job. I'm super proud of you, and I think my work is done.
Yeah, I'm so proud of myself, and I'm so grateful to you and Sandra for all your help and support. And this program is just so amazing. And if other women can feel like I do now, you know, you just feel like you've got a new lease of life, and
Yeah.
you know, just feel like every day you wake up and think, oh, I'm happy, and I did this. I've got more than 600 things in my appreciation or gratitude
Good.
journal. I write about the
Good.
things I'm proud of. I've gotten better at that too. So I still do all those things too, which is just so important for me.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Everything is all those things are little pieces of the puzzle that
Yeah.
you know, we make your daily ritual, and you jump out of bed, you're feeling great about yourself, and you start your day. You consciously tell your mind how you're going to do the day. You don't let
Yeah.
your mind run you. So
No.
good. I'm looking forward to seeing your beautiful journey.
Thank you so much. You take care too.
Excellent.
And my love to you and Sandra.
Okay, perfect. See you.